Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to talk about where is God when trials are near. What characteristics or traits come to mind when I say the name of God? When God is talked about, what pictures, what stories come to mind? In my experience, it depends on the group that you're with and the season that you're enduring. But think about it for a moment. What traits of God come to mind when you're in a prolonged season of trials? Well, James, he provides the answer, and it may sound foreign to us. So what exactly did James say? This is what James writes in chapter 5, beginning in verse 10. Brothers and sisters, take the prophets who spoke in the Lord's name as an example of suffering and patience. See, we count as blessed those who have endured. You have heard of Job's endurance and have seen the outcome that the Lord brought about. The Lord is compassionate and merciful. If you've been with us since we began this series, this may sound a bit like James chapter 1. This series is called Faith in Real Life. It's all about putting our faith into practice. Because as James would describe, saving faith works. And our faith? It does not go on vacation when trials hit. In fact, our faith is developed in the trials for great accomplishments later. James says suffering and endurance are part of the package of faith. The prophets experience this continually. From Moses to Isaiah, to Jonah to John the Baptist, they all experience suffering for their faith. But they endured. Now, they didn't do it perfectly, but they endured through the trial. Their endurance resulted in being blessed. James says, consider Job. Job was tested to the max, and as you may remember, he endured. Job was tested to prove his faith was authentic. He was tested to defeat Satan's attempt at destroying that faith. He was tested to strengthen his faith as well. He was tested to experience blessing. You see, where there is testing, no matter how extreme, difficult, or long, God is compassionate and merciful. You see, for me, when trials come and don't seem to leave, I want to believe in God's compassion and mercy. But I typically feel alone and rejected. I feel like I've done something wrong. Well, James says that is not necessarily the case. Jesus said that there is a cost to discipleship. The cost is hardship. It's rejection from the world, but not rejection from God. God will never leave us nor forsake us. What troubles we experience are likely diminished by God. Have you ever thought about that? Your situation could always be worse. What we have is by the grace of God. We certainly could have less. The trials are but a moment, but eternity is with Christ forever. It's like Psalm 30 verse 5 says, weeping may stay overnight, but there is joy in the morning. So here's my challenge for you today. Endure with God in focus. As I admitted, when trials appear and last, I wonder, where is God? Today, because of what we studied, I am reminded that God is there, and He truly does care. His mercy and His compassion are overwhelming in all seasons, especially in the hard times. So friend, don't lose heart. Don't give up. God is watching over you and walking with you each step of the way. So keep focusing on God and endure in His power. When we do this, that is when we will win the day.